What's the most embarrassing thing you didn't know existed until you were an adult? I thought my boyfriend was pranking me when he asked if I wanted cinnamon in my coffee because cinnamon only existed in restaurants and bakeries where professional chefs had special suppliers that regular people couldn't access. My parents had taught me that spices were like industrial kitchen equipment or those fancy ice sculptures, something only restaurants could get through commercial vendors. Salt, pepper, and ketchup were the only flavors in our kitchen because those were the only seasonings sold for home cooking. And if you complained about bland food, my mother would say that's why people went out to eat, for flavors you couldn't make at home. We'd been dating for 3 months when Liam invited me to his apartment to cook dinner together instead of getting takeout like we always did. I almost said no because cooking together meant he'd see that I only knew how to make 4 things, all involving pasta and butter, all tasting exactly the same. But he seemed genuinely excited about making something called tikka masala, which sounded like furniture from IKEA, so I agreed. His kitchen looked like a grocery store had exploded across every surface, with fresh vegetables I couldn't name and ingredients I'd only seen on cooking shows. But what stopped me completely was this wooden rack on his counter with what must have been 40 glass jars, each filled with different colored powders and leaves and seeds. I stood there staring at it like I'd discovered ancient treasure while Liam chopped onions behind me. "What the hell is all this?" I finally asked, picking up a jar labeled turmeric, which looked like orange dirt. He turned around confused and said his spice rack was overflowing because the cabinet was already full. The cabinet was full of more spices, as if 40 wasn't already insane. I opened jar after jar reading labels like cardamom, coriander, star anise, sumac, holding each one up to the light like they might disappear if I looked away. Liam started laughing until he saw my face and realized I wasn't joking. "Wait, you've never seen these before?" he asked, and I told him what my parents had taught me, that spices were restaurant supplies that only professional kitchens could order, like those giant mixers or special ovens. He looked at me like I'd just said the earth was flat. "Your parents told you civilians can't buy spices?" he asked, and hearing it out loud from someone else made me realize how insane it sounded. But that's genuinely what I'd been raised to believe. My mom had always rushed us past the spice aisle in grocery stores saying it was just decorative displays for cooking classes they held in the back. Liam opened his spice cabinet and pulled out a container of paprika, shaking some into his palm. "This costs literally $2 and lasts 6 months, he said, and I touched it with my finger then tasted it. This smoky sweet flavor I recognized from every good chicken I'd ever eaten but never knew came from something you could just own. We abandoned the tikka masala plan completely as Liam went through every single spice, letting me smell and taste each one. "But my mom said vanilla extract was just marketing. That sugar did the same thing," I said, and Liam actually had to sit down. "Your parents stole flavor from you," he said, and something about those words made me want to cry. He grabbed his keys and drove me straight to the grocery store spice aisle. This entire section I'd literally never walked down before because my mother had trained me to avoid it like it was employees only. The shelves went from floor to ceiling with hundreds of bottles and packages, some costing 99 cents, regular people just grabbing them like they were milk or bread. Liam started filling a basket with basics that he said would change how everything tasted, grabbing garlic powder and onion powder and Italian seasoning. An older woman reached past us for smoked paprika, and I actually grabbed Liam's arm because I thought she must be a chef or cooking teacher, but she was wearing sweatpants and buying birthday candles. "This is going to sound insane," I told Liam, holding a container of bay leaves that cost less than my morning coffee, "but I genuinely thought you needed a restaurant license or some kind of permit to buy these." That night, Liam remade the pasta I'd brought from my apartment, the same boxed macaroni I'd been eating my whole life, but he added butter and garlic and this green stuff called basil and something called red pepper flakes. It tasted like something from an actual restaurant, from one of those places with cloth napkins, but it was just my garbage pasta with $2 worth of additions. "This is what my parents kept from me?" I asked, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to laugh or scream.